Oh man, I can't even.
Oh, here he comes, bro. Breathe.
Dude, I can't. Dude, I can't even. Like, I'm losing it. Dude. Oh! Yes! Woo! Come here, James. We did it, baby.
Thank God.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to J&K Sports Podcast. My name is Joey. Unfortunately, today, my co-host Cody couldn't make it. It's got some stuff going on, but I got a beer for me, and I got a beer for my boy here. So, send him your best thoughts. But we just got to get on and talk about this draft. So it's just going to be me today. So if I'm your favorite, you're going to like this episode. If not, well, I don't know, like you guys. But anyway, man, we're going to continue on here. What I want to talk about, man, is just the draft stuff, man. Really, that's the big stuff going on right now. The 49ers, man. Trey Lance, he's coming to the Bay, so we're going to talk about that. Some of the other picks, Aaron Banks, Trey Sermon, who I tweeted about a little bit. Then we're going to talk about Jalen Waddle, how my boy was not happy with that pick. Maybe that's what's going on with him. I don't know. Maybe it's like that. Then we're going to talk about the landing spots for these quarterbacks, kind of go through that, how I think they might do, and where their careers might end up 3 to 4 years. So we'll go through all that. That's to include Trey Lance. And then Trey Lance going to get his own little special thing. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Oh, sorry. First off here, the draft, man. We did a mock draft, and we got 7 of these picks right. Trayvon Moore, we had him going to the Raiders, but they went in the first round. They went nuts in the first round, man. So, like, when we even said, like, hey, we don't know what the Raiders are going to do. They can do anything. And they did. They did anything. But we could have had 8. But I said it was going to be Justin Fields to the Niners. And I should have stuck with my convictions, man, because I wanted Trey Lance. I knew he was better. Or I felt he was better. Should have just stuck with it. But at the time, Justin Fields rumors were kind of swirling a couple weeks ago. So I went with Justin Fields there. So I missed that pick. Oh, well. However, we did predict if Justin Fields fell, the Bears might be a trade-up position, and they were. Anyway, so that's, kind of did pretty good there, I felt like. Did pretty good. So moving right into it, man, I'm going to start with the Dolphins because I want to get that out of the way because since it's just me, it's all about the 49ers. So, Jalen Waddle went to the Dolphins at 6. I thought they were going to get Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, because I really thought the Bengals were going to be smart. I don't know why. I really don't. They should have taken Penei Sewell. They didn't. They went Chase, reunited teammates in college. Good for them. Kind of a cool story. I still will not be watching those games. Miller, man, I'm sorry. Miller's another one of my friends, Cincinnati Bengals guy. But, so they went with Jalen Waddle, and we have some reaction clips that we'll put together for you guys. But my buddy was like, I wish they had gone Penei Sewell. And I get that. Like, Penei Sewell's probably the better prospect overall, but you're not getting Jalen Waddle at 18, right? He's just not coming at 18. So you have to make that choice. And I personally think that Tua needs receiving help because – I know people have what they have to say about Tua, but I think Tua's good. All right, I do. And there is almost a direct correlation to when Preston Wilson, I believe that's his name, and Devontae Parker went down and Tua's stats go, right? So I think you got to get him a receiver and get him a receiver who's good with the ball in his hands. Jalen Waddle might be the best receiver with the ball in his hands in the class. I had him as my receiver too. Ahead of Devontae Smith. I don't think that's a crazy hot take. But I also think it's pretty good value because he would have gone, before 18, almost assuredly. So good pick for the Dolphins, I felt there. I actually thought the Dolphins had a pretty good draft overall. I saw something where they graded, I don't know who this is from, so sorry, but they graded like overall athleticism of all the draft classes. And the Dolphins had like the highest athleticism score. So they went after athletes, man, but they're also good football players. So a hell of a draft for the Dolphins, I felt. Not the best. 49ers are the best. but a good draft. So thoughts on quarterback landing spots. So I think what I'll do is I'll go from 15 and down. So Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence. So starting with Mac Jones, if you've watched my other episodes, which if you haven't, please do. I'm not high on Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is a second round pick. He's a tough evaluation because guys are just always open and the pocket's always perfect. And, he's just a tough evaluation. Dude's surrounded by talent. But I think going to the Patriots, it's a pretty good system for him. It's cold weather. Guys who don't have big arms sometimes struggle in that, or that's a concern when you draft them. We didn't hear anything about that. But I think he'll just kind of be a point guard there. Get the ball out quick. He's got the 2 tight ends. But I think he's also going to struggle. It really depends on what you think about Mac Jones as to how you view him as a success, because I don't view him as a Pro Bowl player. And when you draft quarterbacks in the first round, you're kind of hoping they're going to make a couple Pro Bowls, right? I'd imagine so. Trey Lance will make a couple of Pro Bowls. But Mac Jones, I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowl player. I think he's going to kind of keep you in quarterback purgatory, personally. So he's a tough eval for me, man. I just know I didn't want him on the Niners. But at 15, I think he's a good value pick because you're just not going to get him later. And I think he'll have a good career. If you're the Patriots, I think you're stuck in this spot where you have the worst quarterback in your division now for the foreseeable future. Let's just start with Tua. He couldn't beat Tua out. All right, that's kind of been my stance. Like he could not beat out Tua. So he's not better than Tua, right? Now let's move on to the Jets, right? He wasn't drafted as high as Zach Wilson. While I'm not super high on Zach Wilson, nobody thinks he's better than Zach Wilson. Find me one person that said Mac Jones is better than Zach Wilson. So there you go. Zach Wilson's ahead of him. Now we're at the Bills. Do we even need to have this conversation? Like, he isn't and never will be as good or better than Josh Allen. So the Patriots now have the worst quarterback in their division, where for the last 20 some odd years, they've had the best, right? So you're kind of stuck in quarterback purgatory there. Build up the team around him, try to compete, try to use Bill Belichick's genius. So Mac Jones, I don't see a bright future for him. Justin Fields, man, 4th quarterback taken. He slid a little bit. I honestly thought Carolina might take him. Or Denver. I guess they think they can get Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what happens with that whole thing. Risky to pass up on Justin Fields, in my opinion, for a cornerback. But yeah, Justin Fields, man, like, you can say what you want about their coaching staff over there in Chicago, and maybe some people are not that high on them. But I noticed a couple years ago, man, people thought Matt Nagy was a genius. Came up under Andy Reid. Excuse me. I think he's a good coach, man. I think he didn't want Mitchell Trubisky. Nobody wants Mitchell Trubisky. Nobody wants him, man. So, like, that's tough. That's tough, man. Coaching somebody you don't want. Nobody in the Bears organization reportedly wanted him, and the GM, Ryan Pace, just kind of did whatever he wanted there. Didn't tell anybody, which would be frustrating. But he made it work as best he can. He got the Bears to the playoffs a couple of times. But he traded up for this guy, right? He traded up from 20 to 11 to get Justin Fields. And I think that speaks to, hey, I want this guy. Go get me this guy. And now you guys can judge me fairly. Now, I think if you can get Mr. Trubisky to throw 6 touchdown passes in a game, you can get Justin Fields to do pretty well for you, for your team. I also think the Bears are like kind of a defensive, tough, cold weather team. And, maybe they're so, tough and angry over there because it is so cold, whatever. Justin Fields went to college in the Midwest. He's used to the cold weather. He's got the big arm. He can run the football with power. Super smart. And I think he fits, right, the attitude of Chicago. Tough, man. Broke his ribs against Clemson. Tore him up. All right. So if that doesn't speak to toughness, I don't know what does. So they may have gotten the toughest quarterback in the draft. So I think great job there. And we'll see what Matt Nagy can do. And we'll see if he's really as good a coach as we thought he was when he first got hired with Justin Fields. Number 3 quarterback, right? 3rd overall, Trey Lance. He was my favorite quarterback that I evaluated. And I didn't watch all 22 film on Trevor Lawrence. Because why? I didn't watch it because I just thought there was no point. But of all the quarterbacks, I did watch all 22 film that I looked at. Trey Lance was my favorite over Zach Wilson, over Justin Fields, over Mac Jones. He's a beast, man. The processor right here, right? This is what you need. He's got fast eyes, man. He's just tick, 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 going through progressions constantly. When you look at his film, even though he has some accuracy issues, if you look at his film, he's going to the right place with the ball. He's getting through progressions constantly. You'll see him going to a second, third read constantly. And then obviously the athleticism jumps off the screen. That's crazy stuff. So great pick for the Niners. I recently posted a clip of my reaction to Trey Lance. In fact, I'm going to clip that in front of this video when I post it on YouTube, so you'll get to see it. But I went nuts. Trey Lance is a beast, man. And he's going to sit behind Jimmy G. That's the best case scenario. That's what the Niners have come out and said. And I don't get these reporters coming out and going, Trey Lance, man, he didn't play last year. He's got to play now. You can't sit. So if you sit more than 1 year, you can't play quarterback? Zip it. Come on, man. Shut up. Aaron Rodgers sat for like 3 years. Like, if he's ready to play, he's ready to play. But there's no problem with him sitting for a year. Even if he's ready, but Jimmy's just a little better, then you sit him. This is a Super Bowl roster. When they went to the Super Bowl roster, it was decimated. As long as you keep the starting quarterback healthy and you can get, what would you give Jimmy a grade of? Top 15 quarterback production? You're a Super Bowl contender. That's pretty freaking good, right? So as long as Jimmy stays healthy, I think he stays on the field. And a lot of people are saying the bye week. First of all, we don't know when the bye week is. Could be week 4. I doubt Trey will be ready. But if Jimmy's rolling and we're 3-0 heading into week 4 bye week, or we're 8-1 heading into week 9 like we were a couple years ago, Jimmy's not sitting down because we're trying to win the Super Bowl. It would be silly to do that. So Trey Lance is not going to be starting this year, but I would love to see maybe some packages, give him a game at the end of the year, because I think provided the Niners have a healthy starting quarterback, they're the best team in the division. I don't care about the Rams getting Matthew Stafford. I don't care. Kyler Murray. I talked about him a little bit when I did my quarterback rankings. Not a huge fan. I don't really like the way the Cardinals are building their team. So Trey Lance is the man in that division going forward. Zach Wilson to the Jets. I don't like the pick simply because, like, once you trade Sam Darnold, I like the pick's fine. But I don't like the pick because I would have kept Sam Darnold. What does this roster have, man? This roster is an empty cupboard. There's nothing on this roster that makes you think that it can support another quarterback. And I know that they play different and they look different, but they're right about the same size. They have similar profiles athletically. And they have different play styles. Zach Wilson's is a little more flashy, but Sam Darnold gives you a little bit of that. The off-platform throws, the athletic arm talent, and camera moved, and everything else. And Sam Darnold did not succeed there. Now, I know he had Adam Gase as a coach, but I don't see anything special out of Zach Wilson aside from the flashiness, right? Zach Wilson makes very flashy throws. The arm talent is elite. Now, when I say arm talent, it doesn't mean arm strength is elite. It doesn't mean accuracy is elite, but the way he can throw the football is elite, right? I'm not a fan of his decision-making. He throws a lot of 50-50 balls, man. He does a lot of 50-50 50-50 ball, man. It's complete. And then you're like, oh my God, Zach Wilson. But it's a 50-50 ball, man. What am I missing here? Like, it's a 50-50 ball. He throws a lot of them. And he throws a lot of passes. He's across his body, things that you don't necessarily teach in the NFL. And guys like Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers get away with them because they also have elite arm strength to go along with some of that stuff. But Zach Wilson doesn't have elite arm strength, not by any means. It might be the tied for third strongest quarterback out of the top 5 in arm strength, maybe with Trevor Lawrence. It's not stronger than Justin Fields, and it's definitely not stronger than Trey Lance's arm. So I'm just not a big fan of that pick. I'm fine with the pick. I'm just not a big fan of Zach Wilson. I would have kept Sam Darnold. Imagine if the Jets, man, had moved out of that 2 spot with the Niners, and they had gotten 2 first-round picks in addition to the pick swap, and a third, and maybe a 4th, or a third, the following, year. Think of what you could have done there for Sam Darnold. I just think that would have been my idea, but I get it. New regime, Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel, or sorry, not Mike McDaniel. He's still with the Niners. The other one, LaFleur. They want their guy. They got him. So they got him. Last guy, Trevor Lawrence. I don't really have much to say about Trevor Lawrence because I didn't evaluate him. He's the best prospect we've seen according to everyone who knows more about sports than me, that they've seen since like Andrew Luck. He's got very good athleticism, very good arm, very good accuracy. He's 6'6". Like, dude just checks every box, right? So I don't really have much to say about him. Great pick for the Jaguars. I mean, we knew he was the number 1 pick since 2018 or whatever. So good pick for the Jags. Hopefully he changes their franchise. He's not going to be good at Trey Lance, but, yeah, whatever. All right, so that's my idea of the quarterback list. So now let's get on to this 49ers specific stuff, because it's my show today, and I'm the 49ers guy. So we already talked about Trey Lance, and I might circle back to him because I don't know if I caught everything. But we're going to talk about Aaron Banks, man, the guard. I thought they were going to take Creed Humphrey. I thought he was better. I actually mocked him in the first round of the Jets. Creed Humphrey. So I thought they were going to take him. I couldn't believe he was on the board. I don't really know why he fell. I'd be interested to hear about that or get opinions. But Aaron Banks, man, dude's a beast, man. Notre Dame just seems to be producing offensive linemen. They really do. They seem like they're turning into one of these offensive line U's, right? Just producing good linemen. Dude's a monster. Javon Kinlaw, man, everyone was like, oh, man, this dude is a freak. He's huge. He's bigger. He's bigger than our biggest defensive tackle. He's a little different than what you might expect from some of our other guards, a little smaller, but he looks like on film he's got plenty of quick feet. He can pass pro, he can run block, and he can get out there. So I think he's going to do a fantastic job. But it also looks like this Niners run game might be moving in a slightly different direction. And I think that with the pick of Trey Sermon as well, and Trey Lance. Trey Lance running style is that power run, right? It's a little Cam Newton-ish. He takes that power run and he just goes up in between the tackles. And then we got the running back Trey Sermon, who talked about this on Twitter. I wasn't a fan of the trade up. I was a fan of the pick, not necessarily the trade up. But the more I look at Trey Sermon, man, he doesn't have elite straight line speed, right? The 40 I don't think was great, but his cone drills, his burst, his athleticism, his splits, they were elite. And that burst translate into that first 6, 7, 8 yards, right? And if you're getting those, that's what Shanahan does, man. He hits a lot of home runs in the run game. Not saying he doesn't. He probably more than anybody. But he wants you to smoke that first cut and whoosh, 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 right? 6 yards, 5 yards. Trey Sermon, he's got the upright running style. He can get outside. He can get in between the tackles as well. I think we're going to see – he's not going to get the touches. I don't think he's going to get the touches. But I think we're going to see Rookie of the Year production. So 150 carries, right? 200 carries maybe. But he's going to be at like 5 yards a carry with that, right? He's going to I think Trey Sermon is going to be what Kyle Shanahan hoped Tevin Coleman would be, but Tevin Coleman is just not that good.
but I think Trey Sermon can be that. So I think we're going to see great production out of him. Ambry Thomas. Sorry if I got that wrong. Ambry Thomas, the cornerback out of Michigan. I mean, he's a good pick. He's similar in athletic profile to Emmanuel Mosley for the Niners. Faster, ran a 4.3, but everybody's pro days were jacked up this year, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Everybody's a 4.3 guy. We got 4.3 linebackers, and Micah Parsons out there. But no, I think he's a good pick, man. And we just have so many depth problems at corner. Would I have taken a corner sooner? Over Aaron Banks? No. We could have had Asante Samuel Jr., but I like that we're shoring up that offensive line, especially that right guard spot. And a guy like Ambry Thompson is kind of what you get. He's kind of what you get in that third, fourth round. He's got tools that project. But doesn't necessarily have the film, or he's got I'm just talking in general guys in these, they don't have enough film. They have injury histories, whatever it may be. And that's why they're available in these spots. So Ambry Thomas opted out. I think he has like 400 passing snaps or something like that. 60 something targets, maybe. Like it's not a lot, but it was impressive. And he has some ball skills, and he's a raw athletic corner. So overall, I mean, a good pick. It was the end of the third round, right? 102. Yeah, 102. Good pick. The guy that I'm excited about, and a lot of people are excited about, I'm not even gonna say his name because I'm gonna butcher it. The safety out of USC, man. I think he was Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. And the way you get these guys in the fifth round. Injury concerns, right? Dude is like broken the same collarbone like 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, or something like that. He just gets hurt, man. I don't know if it's poor technique and his tackling, but he hits, and and we don't know if his body can sustain it because he keeps breaking that collarbone. I think he's got a plate in there now, and then it broke again. So that's rough, man. But I like what he said. He's like, I want to come in here and as a rookie be a Pro Bowl special teamer. Because the 49ers, man, have atrocious special teams. I remember that Saints game a couple years ago where Jimmy G balled out. Man, dude is like, we were just getting blown out the water on special teams. Like Drew Brees just kept getting the ball like 40 yards closer to the end zone than he should have. And I think we constantly rank at the bottom special teams, like bottom 5, bottom 10, whatever it is. But it's awful. So I like that we're getting some guys that can come in and play special teams. And I think he can do it. We also got another guy, he's like a linebacker, 230 pounds, undesignated, undrafted free agent. He's going to come in and he's going to ball out on special teams. So I like that. I really like this draft for the 49ers because I felt like we got a lot of value in positions of need. A lot of value in positions of need. So great draft. One of my favorites, man, I'm telling you, we have not taken, aside from Nick Bosa, we have not taken who I've asked for in the first round ever, man. Going back to Trent Baalke, we just won't count those days, man. So like, we just won't. Let's forget we even mentioned Trent Baalke. You know what? Let me just say this about Trent Baalke. He drafted like 25 more ACL players in the draft this year. So that's all I'm going to say. So thank God he's not doing that for Niners anymore. But let's just take it all the way back to the beginning here. Trey Lance, man. Closing thoughts here. Trey Lance is a stud. And I think in 3-4 years, Trey Lance is going to be the best quarterback in the division for sure. In a division that many people consider to have some of the best quarterback play, Trey Lance is going to be the best quarterback in this division. That dude just has all the elite traits, everything. And the concern was the tape one. He doesn't have a lot. The tape he has is phenomenal. Kyle Shanahan spoke to that. Phenomenal tape. Accuracy is the other one. And it's a mechanical thing. So Trey Lance I'm gonna play around here. Trey Lance is here, right? He's 6'4". He's standing in the pocket, and he goes to throw, and he goes, and he slopes down. If you're gonna throw the ball from a low base, I don't need you doing this, right? I don't need you. It's just like a hitter, right? You're striding. You want to stride. You don't want to go, right? Because then your eyes move and you miss, or you pop the ball up, or you hit a ground, or you know what I mean? If you're gonna play deep like this, right? You need to stay this way. This is your base. This is how you're looking at the field. This is how you're delivering the football. We're not dropping. And he drops and gets small, which is fine. Just stay that way. Now, I think he ironed out some of that in his pro day workouts, which is great. Tells me that he worked the entire offseason. And he sounds like the kind of guy who does work, man, just from listening to the interviews and everything else. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that these accuracy issues will be ironed out. So fantastic stuff there. And Nick, give him that year. Let him play in the preseason. Give him the year to sit behind Jimmy G. 3-4 years. Forget the NFC West, right? Forget the NFC West. Who are the best quarterbacks in the NFC right now? Aaron Rodgers, dude's going to be 93 years old in 3 to 4 years. Get him out of there. Right? Tom Brady, I don't know, man. Maybe Tom Brady might be 25 in 3 years. I don't know what's going on with Tom Brady. He might be back in his 20s. But Trey Lance, man, in 3 to 4 years, he'll be 23. And he's ready to go. He's ready to go, man. 3 to 4 years. Trust me. The Niners have a Super Bowl window now that's looking like 10 years. Now, these all windows always close faster, right? But as long as you have that quarterback, which I think the Niners got, man, that Super Bowl window is extended. You bring back Fred Warner. Jimmy G is going to stay here this year. He's going to be gone. Then we're going to have $25 million essentially off the cap. That money goes to Fred. That money goes to anybody who needs an extension. I'm racking my brain here, but Fred Warner is the one that comes to mind. He might get $20 million. So that money's going to go to him. But let him come in, build. And in 3 to 4 years, when it's time to give him his contract, hopefully the cap is $600 million and we can pay him what he deserves. But the 49ers, man, that window has been extended. I am super, super pumped for the future. And man, I am pumped. So I'm gonna wrap it up here because I feel like I'm rambling a bit without my co-host. But wish him the best. Hope everything works out. And remember, I had one beer for me, one beer for you, homie. And that's it, man. Thanks for listening to our 4th episode now, JK Sports Podcast. Check me out on Twitter. The Twitter is Joey, because that's me, NK Sports Podcast. I'm very active on there. Posted a lot during the draft. Hit me up, man. Hit me up. And then we got Instagram, JK Sports Podcast. We got TikTok, JK Sports Podcast. And then we got our YouTube channel, man, JK Sports Podcast. And that's where this video is going to be going up. So that'll do it here. Coming up this week, we're going to continue our little positional series. We couldn't do that this week because of the draft. We'll be talking some baseball here hopefully soon. Friday, man, we're going to be recording a real special episode. We got a guest coming on. John Chapman, if y'all don't know him, he does the 49ers Rush podcast, and he's the one that made me realize it just doesn't take that much talent to have your own podcast. No, man, in all seriousness, he's awesome, man, and he really is one of the reasons I thought I could put this together. So I'm really excited to have him on the show. We'll be talking tons of 49ers that day, get his thoughts, bounce him off mine, and all that good stuff. So check us out, man. Check us out. And we are interactive in the comments. So that'll do it. I'm Joey. Wish the best to my homie Cody, my co-host, and have a good night.